going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Did you guys miss me last night? I missed you guys last night. Oh, kind of threw a wrench in the plans, but it's okay. It's okay. However, because I, took an impromptu day off last night, every case that I have is from yesterday, and I apologize for that. I don't like falling behind, but I got to catch up now. So I've got a bunch of clips from yesterday, plus a really funny one that happened today in front of Judge Simpson, and that's going to be our treat at the end. You can't. I just saw it about 20 minutes ago. I'm like, I got to put that in. So I quickly clipped it and put it in. But that's going to be at the end. Anyways, I've got some good ones. I've got Judge Simpson, Judge Washington. I've got a traffic person, traffic Karen. It's going to be that kind of night. But the first one is in front of Judge Simpson, and we have the guy from yesterday who he decided to, well, you know what? I don't even know how to explain what he did. He called the prosecutor to try to, no, he didn't call the prosecutor. I guess there's two defendants. He called the other attorney for the other defendant and tried to make like a cross deal where he wouldn't testify if they wouldn't testify, meaning both the cases would be dropped. It's crazy. And yeah, court doesn't work that way. I really hope some of our lawyers are in for this so they can they're going to be wowed by what happens in court today. Anyways, okay, that's what's happening. We have the fall of the House of Buckner. We have close to the conclusion. It's adjourned, but it's close to the Anyways, you guys ready? You guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. I'm rambling, so let's just watch some court. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Courthouse case, People versus Larry Lee.
Your Honor, Mary Tanha, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, about the people.
And Mary Rubio, on behalf of Mr. Lee, I am standing in for the attorney of record, David Burgess, with Mr. Lee's consent, to my knowledge. Is that correct, sir? That is okay for me to stand in for you right now?
Yes.
Okay, could you please state your name?
Literally.
What is that noise?
Shouldn't you check? I don't feel safe. Why are you just pointing? What?
Don't stop. So.
It'll stop at some point.
I feel very safe, Your Honor.
Wow, I know. He's like, you are all over it. Yes. All right, go ahead. What are we doing?
Well, Your Honor, a few things. First of all, I've been in communication with Mr. Burgess and Mr. Arabo, who is representing the victim of the case, Mr. Quasney.
Fluid. What is that? Fluidity. I called you Fluid. Fluidity. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. And yes, the yakety yak. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go check out my Discord and you'll know. But no, that was good. Thank you for the super chat.
Apparently, Mr. Lee called Mr. Arabo and offered to, in exchange, there's a pending case where Mr. Quasney is the defendant of an AMV against Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee contacted Mr. Arabo and offered to essentially not testify in that case if Mr. Quasney agreed not to testify in this case. There are statements that are essentially saying, in exchange for Mr. Quasney, victim in this case, not testifying, I will also not testify. That is highly concerning, of course. I was given this information yesterday. I asked Mr. Arabo to forward that call to myself, Mr. Burgess, and the officer in charge because we want it documented for potential additional charges. But this all transpired yesterday. We got the recording as of this morning. With that said, of course,
Miss Biggin, welcome. Welcome. And thank you so much, Biggin, for the raid. I appreciate it. We just started. I let's just say I talked a lot in the intro. This clip has only been running for about 30 seconds. So perfect timing. Biggin, I appreciate the raid. I had to pause it. I really want to see how that subsidy at the post office ends. So I guess I know that it lasts for about 10 minutes. So I've got something to look forward to after my stream. So Biggin, thank you so much. Welcome to the Raiders. Yeah, you just jumped in. You didn't really miss anything. We're in Judge Simpson's courtroom, obviously. And yeah, let's just go.
I think it's appropriate to have an adjournment. Mr. Burgess agrees with that.
But does that recording indicate that?
Yes, Your Honor, have either one of you listened?
I myself have not listened to the recording. I was just asked to stand in on behalf of Mr. Burgess. He's at a hearing in Lansing. However, I did speak to Mr. Lee about it today. Mr. Lee indicates he indicated some of the content of the conversation to me. He also indicated, just FYI, that he himself recorded it.
But just so that I have this right, the defendant, because of something else, is urging, enticing, or in some other way interfering with testimony of witnesses in this
Well,
case.
I can't agree to that characterization because I haven't heard it. I don't know.
Well, you want to listen to, because that's what I'm being told.
But yes, I understand. I understand that is what's being presented. I also want to indicate that.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry. Mr. Lee has indicated to me some things. I have advised him to be careful of what he would want to say to Your Honor, but he seems to feel that he needed to make that phone call because he wants to move to have Mr. Burgess removed and he wants to get a different attorney. Mr. Lee has indicated to me he also wants to address the court. I again did advise him I would not go into the content of that conversation as there could be potential pending new charges. With that said, Mr. Lee, what is it you wanted to say?
Yes, Judge, I indicated to.
All right. I don't say this enough anymore, and I used to say it a lot, but yeah, the second he starts talking, which is now, it's about to go down. It is. Let's go.
What's your name?
Peeps, thank you.
Rubio, Ms. Rubio.
To Ms. Rubio, that for a little bit over a month, I contacted my attorney, Mr. Burgess, and I instructed him to contact the lawyers from both sides, the prosecution and the other side that represented Mr. Kwasny, and I instructed him to offer a plea or to negotiate some sort of settlement, and he indicated that he would do that. He indicated that he had done that. He indicated that he had reached out to Mr. Arabo and the prosecutor regarding making some sort of plea agreement. Him and I discussed what that could be. And so now, fast forward, yesterday, I contacted Mr. Burgess and I said, hey, have you reached out or have you heard anything from Mr. Arabo and the prosecutor? He said, and he indicated.
Dan, have you seen this one yet? I really hope you haven't seen this one yet. I want to see your original reactions, but you probably did. It happened yesterday.
That he had not heard anything and that he had reached out to both attorneys multiple times. I knew that to be a lie. I suspected that to be a lie. And I knew that if I were to have him or to ask you to have him removed or substituted, that I would have to prove under Strickland versus Washington that he.
I don't know. Are you?
I did not post this yet. This is my first time. I usually don't rerun things. Sometimes I do if it's, an older clip, like I'll bring something back that happened 6 months ago just to refresh our memories, but I usually don't play things twice.
Lawyer?
I'm
Mr. Lee, no.
I
To my
was-
knowledge, no.
So I knew that I had to prove that he was ineffective. I knew that I had to prove that our breakdown was egregious. So I recorded the call myself. And I called Mr. Arabo and I asked if Mr. Burgess reached out and discussed any sort of plea negotiations. Mr. Arabo said, no, sir. He had not had any communications with my attorney. So I confirmed with Mr. Arabo that he had not received any communications about any kind of negotiations with any kind of plea agreements on my behalf.
I'm so sorry to interrupt Mr. Lee, before he makes more statements.
And I did record the,
That are false to this.
I recorded the call.
Criminalizing himself.
I recorded the call.
In his best interest, he might want to listen to this call before he makes any further statements. In the call that was sent to us, there is indication, there's no discussion of a plea, not what was sent to me. That was recorded by Mr. Arabo. There's very clear that there will be no testimony in his case if Mr. Consley agrees not to testify in this case.
So I have the text messages.
Before further false statements are made to the court, which is not necessarily a problem for me, but I want to make sure that Mr. Lee's rights are preserved.
I have the text
He
messages.
might want to listen.
You don't know what?
to
That's the
report.
third time you've done it. You're gone. Mr. Allen, take him. You better get Mr. Burgess down here because I want to hear those calls because if he's interfered with it, that's going to be a whole other issue.
I will try to reach him, but I know he is in Lansing, so I'm not certain.
Well, even if he appears, right, has Mr. Burgess heard the calls?
I don't know, Your Honor. They were sent this morning. I asked Mr. Arabo to send them right away yesterday, and we received them this morning. Mr. Arabo can also be available via Zoom if necessary.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that what I'm hearing is extremely disturbing.
I completely understand that. Your Honor.
And so I'm gonna give an opportunity for the defense to give me some explanation, but I'm inclined at this point, I'm gonna hold him in custody. I'm inclined at this point to revoke his bond.
I understand.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he just was held in contempt. I don't know. He just said, "Take him, take him. We're gonna end this here, and we're just gonna send him in the back." Okay. Stop interrupting people. That's the moral of the story so far. It gets way worse. It gets so much worse.
But I can't. Can we get Mr. Lee out? No, oh, is he? Okay, right. Court does call the case of the people versus Larry Lee.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Marie Tin, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of the people.
I forgot to wait a second.
And Mary Rubio, again, on behalf of Mr. Lee, who is making his way to the podium.
There's additional counsel that is on Zoom.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Rebo. Oh, there you
Good
are.
afternoon, Your Honor. May it please this honorable court, Joseph Arabo on behalf of Stephen Quasney.
All right. And I'm presuming everybody.
All right, real quick, just to catch everyone up, who this attorney is the attorney for a different defendant. Now, what this guy did, not the attorney, the guy who, Mr. Lee, what he did is he called this attorney to try to make a deal where Mr. Lee wouldn't testify in this guy's case or in this attorney's client's case if his client didn't testify in his case. Yeah, that's bold, and I think it's illegal. Yeah, there's something going on there. It's bad. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Except the court has heard the phone call.
What I heard was the recording the prosecutor gave me, which appears to be a less than 2-minute portion of a phone call. I think she would agree it's not an entire phone call.
That's correct, Your Honor. It's what Mr. Arabo sent me, as well as Mr. Burgess, and law enforcement as of this morning.
All right. And that portion of the phone call, as the court is to understand, is basically this defendant speaking with, is it directly with the victim in this case?
No.
No, Your Honor.
Attorney.
It's with Mr. Arabo, who's the attorney for the victim.
All right. And basically offering to not provide testimony in another case if his client doesn't provide testimony in this criminal proceeding.
That is how I would characterize it, Your Honor. If Mr. Arabo has additional information or different information, he's welcome to.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Rallo.
yeah, just to clarify the record, that's a portion of a phone call because I didn't anticipate to record the entire thing. I didn't know who was calling me. And then once I realized what this was, which is an attempt to extort and use this other case that he filed against the victim in this matter to use as leverage to have this conversation at a future point in time, I was quick enough to get on my computer and record it so that the court is aware of what's going on in the matter where I represent Mr. Kwasny, who's the victim in this matter, which is the first matter before the court.
Your Honor, if I may, I really object.
Let's say good on him to think to record it real quick, and just so he's like, I want nothing to do with this. This is not my idea. If he didn't record that and they were just going back and forth, because the defendant he has a completely different story. He's like, oh, I just wanted a plea deal. It was a plea deal. No, it's not. It's not. It's witness tampering and extortion.
Object to that characterization that it was an attempt to extort. I've spoken to Mr. Lee at length about the purpose of the phone call. I also listened to the portion of the phone call. Perhaps the court could listen to it. I do not believe that was what was happening at all. And plus, I don't think there was nothing on there that indicated he was trying to extort this attorney or the complaining witness. Frankly, what Mr. Lee has alleged to me is that he and Mr. Burgess have basically had a breakdown of communication, that he's spoken to Mr. Burgess multiple times, asking him to advocate on his behalf to the prosecutor as well as to this other attorney to try to come up with what he has called, not being a lawyer, using the words a settlement agreement or a plea negotiation. That's what he said to me. And that he had the feeling that Mr. Burgess had not, in fact, made this phone call. So he then called this attorney, and right in the phone call,
because it would have been unethical for Mr. Burgess to call to try to say my client won't testify in this other matter.
Of course.
If that, right?
All right, quick question. Mr. Burgess, this defendant's attorney, on record attorney, is that he's in a different courthouse covering something else. This is a huge deal. There's actually a stand-in attorney who he had to explain the situation to. They weren't just going to pass on this. So this stand-in attorney is trying to defend this guy. I think Mr. Burgess just stayed away on purpose. He's like, I'm going to go cover this arraignment for, jaywalking. Can you please stand in for this? I want nothing to do with it either.
That's
well,
Mr. Burgess may not have done.
And that may very well be. But Mr. Lee indicates that, and I haven't seen these, he indicates that he has text messages back and forth with Mr. Burgess, and that Mr. Burgess, quote, lied to him about whether or not he made these phone calls. So he indicates the main reason that he wanted to call.
That would be irrelevant.
I know that. Judge, trust me, I know that. But I just wanted to make a record. What, can I just finish though?
Let her finish.
Mr. Lee indicated the main purpose of the phone call was for him to find out whether this attorney could verify whether Mr. Burgess called him. If you listen to the call, the portion of this call, it's literally on there. He says, it starts out with him saying something about plea agreements. It's the call, it's interrupted. And I believe because counsel didn't realize he was going to need to record this. But anyway, it starts out with him, Mr. Lee, saying something about plea agreement, settlement agreement. Did Mr. Burgess call you to try to, see if I wouldn't testify and then your client wouldn't testify? Yes, he says that. But then he goes on to say, because my lawyer said he called you, and then this attorney confirms what Mr. Lee was trying to find out. And this attorney says, no. You see how easy it was to reach me. I didn't talk to anybody named Burgess. That's what he says. So I'm just indicating that Mr. Lee states that was the main purpose of his call because he claims he wanted to come in here today and tell Your Honor that he did not want to have Mr. Burgess represent him anymore because he feels Mr. Burgess is lying to him. I'm just representing to you what Mr. Lee has told me.
Your Honor, if I may.
I'd like to say
Yes.
something.
Thank you. Mr. Arabo, it's my turn. One moment. Your Honor.
Because apparently that's how.
I love this prosecutor. This prosecutor is so done with I'm not gonna say she's done with this case. She is so upset, frustrated, aggravated. Like this isn't how court works, people. It's not. Oh, she just told him it's my turn to talk. You sit right there. My turn.
It works in this courtroom. Tana says it's her turn, so it's her turn. Go ahead, Miss Tana.
Mr. Arabo had some trouble with dropping.
That's only because she's there and I'm not.
Your Honor, I don't really, quite frankly, care what's going on with the client relationship with Mr. Burgess, or claims Mr. Arabo is making about extortion. That's not something that people are going to get involved in at this stage. What I'm concerned about is there is a clear difference between a plea negotiation and two witnesses not testifying, one of them being Mr. Lee, the other one being Mr. Quasi, not testifying in exchange for something. And I agree that the court should just listen to the call rather than us going around calling it different things. What's clear to me is that there is an offer to not testify in exchange for Mr. Quasi not testifying in this case before this court. That is what I'm hearing on that call. That is what's concerning to people, and that's what may bring future charges. We're in the early stages. This needs to go to law enforcement. It has gone to law enforcement now, and we can follow up.
Mr. Rabo.
Yeah, it's Hitchbot. Essentially, they're on the same side. Mr. Arabo, is it Arabo? Did I say that right? I don't know. He wants nothing to do with this guy. It's like, I'm defending my client. Why are you calling me to make this with me? That's why he recorded it, and he sent it to the prosecutor. And to be honest, it might help him in his case because his client is the victim of this guy, and somehow his client turned into a defendant. He's going to say that here shortly. He's like, I've never had a victim turn into a defendant in one case before. And so it's just a wild situation. So I think this actually helps him because this guy's he's slightly cray-cray.
Your Honor, as you know, I'm a defense attorney. I think Ms. Rubio is really grasping at straws here to try to help her client. But here's what it is. It's not a plea. We heard her say plea. A plea means a reduction to something other than what he's being charged with, not a dismissal, which is clearly being indicated in this. Second, what's happened here is you could see clearly there has been a subsequent case filed. I don't know how this slipped between the cracks because in over 10 years of practicing, I've never seen something like this where a victim turns into a defendant. What? During a pending case. Never seen anything like this. So Mr. Lee has done this intentionally so that he can one day use it as leverage to contact me or have somebody else contact me or whoever is representing Mr. Quasny so that he could use it as a negotiation tactic. And what he's engaged in is third-party communication to get through to Mr. Quasny in violation of his bond. That's number one. He's got a no contact order. Second, this is witness tampering. You don't want to call it extortion. Let's find something else. It is witness tampering. He's trying to tamper with Mr. Quasny using the leverage that he created. And I don't know how the prosecutor's office allowed this to happen. Somebody wasn't monitoring things properly, but this is what's happened. First ever time I've ever seen anything like this, and it needs to be handled. It needs to be handled. It's going to be handled.
Okay.
Can we listen to the call?
Everybody
Yes,
listen to it already.
Can somebody send it to Ms. Weidling and I will then be more than happy to listen, or if there's an easier way for me to do it, I'll do it. Let's take the defendant back and
Okay.
court listen to the call. I can give my decision.
Oh no!
You have to go back.
I might have messed up.
I'll handle that coming back out.
No, we don't get to hear the call. Judge Simpson listens to it in
But I
private.
think Miss.
I'm worried because I really hope I have part 3 of this.
So bring me that. Court's gonna stand in recess. Everybody can remain seated. Bring me. Pardon? Yeah. Yeah, bring those two back and then I'll.
All
I do
right.
think they're,
This is what I was worried about. I didn't edit this fast forward out. That's what I was worried about. But it's in the same clip. I was just worried that because usually when this happens, I'll end the recording and then I'll start a new one. So I can that tells me that there's multiple parts to it. But I had this all in one. So we're going to have to watch me fast forward and rewind real quick. You know, while this is going on though, let's
Court does recall the case. The people stated.
I'm too good at that sometimes. Let's see. Vic, thank you so much. 14 months. That is awesome. Hey, I made it to 14 months. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Vic. I appreciate it. Peeps for 17. Thank you so much, Peeps. 17 months. Awesome. JP's Jazz. Happy year. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Okay. Now that my awesome editing skills have just been on display, let's go.
Michigan versus Larry Lee.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Marie Tannhouse, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney. I'm about people.
and Mary Rubio on behalf of Mr. Lee, who is approaching.
Oh, usually the way I do it is I clip it. So what I've been doing is for the cases that are multiple parts like this that happen on the same docket, and I do the fade in, fade out. If I stop the recording and then restart it when it starts, then that tells my brain that I need to fade in, fade out. But I did this part 2 and part 3 in one part, so I didn't. I didn't clip that. I didn't cut out the middle because that's how I've been doing it lately. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's just watch the recording.
Get your name, please.
Larry Lee.
Okay. The issue is in this case that, first of all, we're adjourning the hearing over.
I believe we are. That was what I thought we were doing in the beginning.
Well, it's got to stay before me. So.
I know Mr. Burgess is already going to be here on July 1st. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yes, but I'm not on the.
Oh.
I'm on the bench, but I'm not doing these.
Okay.
So. Set his preliminary examination July to defendant's request. So my next date is July 22nd, 2025, and that's another 12 p.m. start because God, I love that. All right. With reference to bond in this case, I've listened to the recording. I'm not going to say there's an over exaggeration or an under exaggeration. I mean, I think it's relatively clear when somebody very clearly points out an exchange or quid pro quo regarding me not testifying and this other person not testifying, and that is the exchange. I don't know that you get a clearer indication of somebody that is attempting, and especially when they circumvent their attorney, of somebody trying to sort of tamper with and obstruct a case. It couldn't be clearer. I mean, and quite frankly, I don't think there's any design to necessarily frost it over or anything along those lines. I think the idea or what Mr. Lee is saying about what Mr. Burgess wouldn't do is quite frankly just a ruse to hide his own desire to have the exchange that he was speaking with counsel about. Given that, and the court having heard that, with reference to this case, the defendant's bond is hereby ordered revoked based upon the court's hearing of that bond violation.
Your Honor, can I just raise two issues? Before all of this happened, Mr. Lee expressed to me and attempted to express to the court his, as I'm sure the court has gleaned, his displeasure with Mr. Burgess. So I do think there, given some of Mr. Lee's allegations against Mr. Burgess, it may be best if someone else is appointed to the case. I know he doesn't want
So,
Mr. Burgess.
And that's fine. I don't know whether or not he doesn't want Mr. Burgess or not, because I think, as I'm indicating, I think that notion of Mr. Burgess not doing something and then his checking is simply a ruse for him to try to get the message that I want this quid pro quo, this exchange.
And I'm not accusing Mr. Burgess of anything. I'm just trying to represent what Mr.
No,
Lee
and,
has told
and I
me.
understand that.
And Mr. Lee is
I think
about
when
jumping
you-
out of his skin trying to talk, just so you know.
And so when you talk to Mr. Burgess, if Mr. Burgess, if he believes that that's the appropriate step, he can bring that motion before this court and the court will hear it in
Okay.
the day that I'm on. Mr. Lee, I will let you talk in a moment, but I'm going to finish this. Revoking your bond because of what is a clear violation of the bond regarding, I think it's an attempt to try to get indirect contact as well as obstruct these proceedings. Because that was accomplished in the manner it was, and I'm not sure that I can trust you with reference to no context and the like, we're at least going to get through this. I am going to, subject to a hearing, defendant phone privileges for the jail are also revoked. What did you wish to say, sir?
The thing that my substitute attorney here didn't convey to you was that I told her that I have the evidence with me in hand, that my attorney, Mr. Burgess, was the one that actually said that this was a legal way that we can go about it. And no, I'm not.
You know what, Mr. Lee, you might as well stop right now.
I have the text
Because
message.
no, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you're misunderstanding something or what, but you are not. Mr. Burgess has appeared before this court. You are not going to sit here and try to disparage that man, saying that somehow or another, Mr. Burgess represented to you that obstructing a case in this fashion was a legal way to proceed. I'm not going to believe it, and I'm not going to hear you. I'm not going to hear you. I don't know how do you not understand what I'm telling you? Now, if you've got that information and you think that's what it says, you get it to counsel and the court will take a look at it. But you're not going to sit here and disparage that man. It is not going to happen. I'm done. Bond revoked. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your wait and patience online.
No problem, Your Honor. Are you still on the record?
Pardon? I am.
Are you still on the record? I'm not sure who this kid is or what he's capable of or what sort of messages he can get out to other people. But if the court could put a no contact order because somehow I've become a witness in this matter, I'd appreciate that.
A no contact with you?
Yep. I don't want to be contacted by any third parties. I want out of this thing and I want to be done with it. Didn't ask to be here.
I will add that no contact provision in.
You want of those, Your Honor?
But counsel, why don't you let us know how you really feel? I know. All right. We'll take care of that.
I think the courtroom's been through enough today. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Rubin. You ready? You got it.
Yeah. I mean, that was a smart move. I don't blame him at all. It's like I don't want to ever talk to this guy again. I have no reason to ever talk to him again. Please put do not contact me down. And they took his phone privileges away before he even got to jail. That's a new one. Smart move. Yeah. That kid done messed up. He messed up AA, Ron. He done messed up. All right, let's move on. I can't believe that actually happened. Like that's something that happens on court TV shows, not in real life, where a defendant allegedly fabricates a story to get the victim in trouble. So the victim turns into a defendant in the same case and then talks to the attorney so they wouldn't testify against each other. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's a smart move. It's highly illegal, but if they didn't testify against each other and they're both, I don't even know what the charges are, to be honest, but if both cases end up being dismissed because they don't testify and that plan worked, I mean, that's definitely pulling one over on the courts. That's illegal as hell, don't do that, as you just found out. He's in the find out portion of it. But I mean, the plan though was unique. All right, we're gonna stop. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like that seems like something that, you know. All right, we're gonna move on because I don't like saying that it was a good plan. It was just all right. Let's move on. I think we have traffic
video.
I've got one traffic case. This one's good. Magistrate Chisum, welcome to the party. Let's go.
Please. This is 25 BE 02411. Ticket was issued on the 10th of May, a couple minutes after 9 in the morning. Area of Berkeley near 11 Mile and Mortensen. You were cited for speeding, 49 and a 30. You can admit or deny responsibility, or you can admit responsibility with an explanation. How do you wish to proceed?
I deny because I don't believe I was driving 49.
If you raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do.
I do.
The sergeant will testify first, please.
Your Honor, on May 10th at approximately 9:05 a.m., I was eastbound on 11 Mile near Mortensen when I observed a tan Dodge Caravan traveling westbound in the same area, traveling at what I estimated to be roughly about 50 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Activated my front opposite direction radar. At that point, I obtained a speed of 49 miles per hour. I made a U-turn and pursued the vehicle, stopped the driver, who identified herself as Jasmine Miles. I issued a citation for doing 16 to 20 over, 49 and a 30. My radar was functional before shift and tested fine after shift. I am certified as a radar instructor and radar operator.
Thank you. Ms. Miles, it's your turn, ma'am.
He said I was on a 49 and a 30. If that's the case, I would like to see the radar gun.
We're having some trouble hearing you.
I said I would like to see the radar gun. If he said he clocked me at going 49 and a 30, I would like to see the radar gun.
You are not the trier of fact, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
No, I said you're not the trier of fact. This matter has been brought to court. You've heard the sergeant's testimony. I've heard the sergeant's testimony. You want to see the radar gun wouldn't tell you anything. If you saw a window on the gun that said 49 miles an hour, the next thing you'd say wasn't your car. So after the fact, what the radar gun reads is irrelevant. What is relevant is how it was read when it was measuring the speed of your vehicle. Do you want to testify to your speed?
Yes, because I don't believe I was 149. And if he clocked me on the radar gun should have my VIN number been accurate as 49.
You know, you're focusing your testimony on the radar unit, and you want to see it. You're saying it should have had your PIN number?
It should have my VIN. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me take this up.
I'm having some trouble hearing you, but that doesn't seem to be the major issue. Now it's better.
Okay.
I've heard you say that you want to see the radar gun. I've heard you say that you think the gun should have your PIN number on it.
Yes, I think it had my VIN number showing that there was an accurate reading of 49.
Could you imagine if a radar gun just popped up the VIN number? That would be. How exactly could that work? I mean, I know if you read a license plate, a VIN number is tied to the license plate, but that's not always the case. That's how you get the VIN number, is reading the license plate. I ding your car and your VIN number pops up. Just think about that. Let that sink in.
The radar gun does not read VIN numbers. It measures speed. The sergeant is certified not only to operate radar, but to teach radar operation to other police officers. He measured your speed because he looked at your car and he thought you were going too fast. Speed limit's 30. Saw you coming towards him. He thought at about 50. When he measured your speed, you were going about 50. You were going 49 when he measured your speed. And you haven't testified otherwise. You've just testified that you want to see the radar gun.
Yes, I would like to see the radar gun because I wasn't traveling 49 miles.
You don't have to be traveling 49 miles. The rate of speed was 49 miles per hour.
And that's how fast he said I was going in a 30 mile zone, 49. And I wasn't traveling 49 miles. That's why I said I want to see a radar gun that shows at that time I was 49 that he clocked me at.
The radar gun would not show the time. It would not show the vehicle. It would show the speed that the radar unit measured your vehicle at. And that speed was 49. And that's what he wrote you for. And I believe that's what you're responsible for. Sergeant is certified to operate it. He was operating the unit. He tested it before and after the shift. It worked at both ends. It didn't break and fix itself sometime in the middle. No ambiguity as to the target. The fine is $200. It can be paid online or by mail or at the courthouse counter.
I mean, because you guys are getting me for a speeding ticket and I wasn't going 49. I didn't hear you.
I said, we guys aren't doing anything. You were.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at. Held responsible
measure
for.
Of the executive department, and you have brought it to court for the judicial department. It's not we guys. Pay your ticket. We're done.
So I'm just done with a ticket and I'm being held responsible for driving in a 49, driving 49, and I wasn't.
That is what you did.
He just hung up on her. Even the officer's like, wait a second, we're done? Oh, that was fast. Yeah, he just hung up on her. I like Magistrate Chisum. I really do. Calling her out on saying 49 miles instead of 49 miles per hour, he knew what she was talking about. Yeah, I used to get dinged by that, not putting the proper units on, science and math tests in high school as well. But you knew what she was talking about. All right, let's move on. Are we doing Judge? Are we going to Washington now? Oh, yep. We got Jeremy Schuh update. Jeremy Schuh was in court yesterday, so we can't forget about him. His attorney shows up and says, please let me off this case. That's what happens. Let's go.
Court will call the matter of the state of Michigan versus Jeremy Schuh, 24S00351.
Tiffany Woods for the people.
Sherilyn Foster Tucker on behalf of Jeremy Schuh.
Jeremy Schuh.
Thank you. All right, we're here today for Ms. Foster Tucker. Well, we're here for a pretrial as well as for Ms. Foster Tucker's motion to withdraw.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. I do believe, as I indicated in my written motion, that there has been a breakdown such that it would no longer be appropriate for me to continue representing Mr. Schuh.
Thank you. Anything from the people on this?
No, Judge.
All right. Mr. Schuh, anything from you on the motion to withdraw?
My understanding was it was merely because of the fact that it was in the circuit court as an appeal, and whatever contract that the appointed counsel is dealing with don't allow her to represent me in that matter. So I guess that it's going to have to be a separate circuit court for our appointment. I don't know.
Well, did you provide him with a copy of your basis for the withdrawal?
Yes, I have the motion. I haven't read it. I'm sorry. That was my mistake.
That is not the basis for her withdrawal.
That's what I was informed verbally by Miss Foster Tucker for the reason of the withdrawal, so I didn't really see a point of reading it. I probably should have.
Mm-hmm. You guys have a fundamental disagreement on the actions that you're taking, Mr. Schuh. So based on that, I'm going to grant her request to withdraw. And so you are paid counsel, Ms. Foster Tucker?
Appointed, Your Honor.
All right. So this matter will need to go back to the appointing authority so the appointing authority can appoint someone else. I think I need one of those. Thank you. Thank you.
I think he knows every attorney, every public defender he's on a first name basis with. All of them. At least in I'm not going to say the state of Michigan, but Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, he's got all their numbers first name basis. Probably even the prosecutors too, because he used to go pro se. He's who I should reach out to for an interview with Rachel McDuffie. That'd be funny. All right, I didn't edit this out. Sorry, guys. JoJo! I'm happy you remembered. I'm probably the worst person to hit the like button.
All right, I'm gonna put this over to July 8th, 2025 at 9:00 a.m. Hopefully we'll have a new attorney by then, Mr. Schuh.
Okay. Can we address the drug testing still, please?
I'm not sure you want to do that, Mr. Schuh.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take the advice. July 8th.
Correct.
I'm not sure you want to do
At
that.
9 a.m.
You probably have a
Yes,
violation, and now you don't have an
Okay.
attorney.
You too. See you then, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
All right. That was just a quick update. Now we're moving to another update. This is Lawrence Buckner of the family of Buckner. He for those of you that don't know who he is, when he first appeared, he kind of started this, saying some of the sob sit stuff. He never really went full sob sit though. I know a lot of other channels call him one, generally because he says Grand Rising, and when he announces his name, he says of the family of Buckner. But that's about the only time he ever really went subs, like anything close to a sob sit. So I stopped calling him one. But he goes off on the court. He goes off pretty hard. So let's watch it.
Court will call the case of the state of Michigan versus Lawrence Buckner. Case number 25S00102.
Tiffany Woods for the people.
Buckner, Dr. Leave on behalf of Mr. Buckner. Mr. Buckner, can you state your name, sir?
I actually do like my own stuff. Not my videos, because I don't watch. Once I upload them, I don't watch them again. But my live streams, when I'm setting it up, and I have to copy the link to do the Discord notification, I'll go to my video and open it up so I could send the link over, and I always hit the like button. I do make it a point never to be the first like though, because I know some people enjoy being the first like. So if I go to it and there's 0 likes, I'll wait, and then sometimes I do forget to go back and hit the like button. But yeah, I do usually like my own live streams.
Mr. Buckner, could you state your name, sir?
Lawrence Buckner.
And could you turn on your video, please?
No, that's a waste of $25,000. If we bailed him out, he'll just be arrested. He's gonna go right back to his house. Right back to his house. We might be able to get a good interview out of him if we do bail him out, though. But yeah, probably not. I know a lot of people have reached out to him on Facebook because he uses Facebook a lot, but he doesn't respond. So Yeah.
All right, we're here for sentencing today.
Yes, Your Honor, I have reviewed the report and recommendation with Mr. Buckner. Your Honor, I don't believe we don't have any factual modifications to the report. I would like to provide them elocution. Shouldn't ask the court not to accept the recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Woods?
One moment, Judge, I'm pulling up my notes right now. My computer is just a little slow.
Mr. Buckner, are you driving, sir?
No, ma'am. I'm not driving.
Judge, I've also had an opportunity to review the PSIR recommendation, and I'd ask the court to follow the recommendation within that report. Thank you.
No. He wasn't charged with murder. He was charged with like some level of assault. I think assault was one of them. I think trespassing was one. There's an officer that he doesn't like. That I don't think the officer likes him either. They've had a bunch of run-ins, and there was a weird trespassing / he threatened the officer. That was one of the charges. I actually think that's this case. The threatening of the officer is this case. I don't remember exactly, but I remember we watched the trial, and he said like if I ever see that officer again, I don't remember what he said. He might have said if I ever see him again, I'm going to kill him, something like that. But I don't know if it was that direct. But they charged him with threatening an officer because of that. Yeah. At the pizza place next to the gas station.
That's my hazard lights.
Your what?
That's my hazard lights. Those are my hazard lights.
Yeah, peeps, I've been arguing that for a while too, especially since I found out what it meant. I didn't know what the term grand rising meant until like 3 or 4 months ago. But the issue is a lot of soft-sits say it. That's the problem. So it's slowly getting tied into them. But I know that it's not a soft-sit thing. It's just, for whatever reason, soft-sits say that as their greeting. So it's slowly being put into their script. But yeah, it is definitely not a soft-sit thing, though. Bad Skidder, thank you so much for the 17 months. That is awesome. Thank you.
Mr. Lebo, what would you like to say on behalf of your client, please?
First, I want to note that when I discussed this with Mr. Buckner yesterday, he told me that he understands that when he got upset, when he felt provoked by the officer, he should have kept his mouth shut, and he shouldn't have made any kind of threatening statement, even if he felt disrespected. He did ask me to let the court know that he was at a gas station getting his tire fixed during the interview. He tells me that he was not driving. He also wants me to let the court know that he will comply with any probationary sentence issued by the court. He did state to the probation he doesn't feel he would benefit from probation, but he did tell me when we spoke that he will comply fully with any probation conditions imposed by the court. So we would ask the court to consider imposing a fines and cost sentence or a period of probation rather than filing the recommendation for 30 days in jail.
Did he do a class? I was a little confused because it said in there he did the class. Did you do a class, Mr. Buckner?
No, I've been just going to my regular therapist. But what Mr. Lebo is saying, what he's talking about is the PSI and what I stated assertively. And I think you would be proud of me, Miss Rushing, because I didn't raise my voice, I didn't cuss, and none of that crazy stuff I normally do. And there was 2 incidents that the probation reviewer person said to me, and I really don't want my words misconstrued. I don't want them taken out of context. He said, when he got first thing, he said, talk about the apology. And I told the probation officer, I said, if you was offended by a person, would it be more genuine for the person who offended you to apologize or for you to get a third party. Case in point, your sister stole some money from you, and you feel she owes you an apology. You want to forgive her. You want to move forward in life, but she doesn't come forth. Your mother or another relative comes. Anybody that's a natural human will see that that is non-genuine at all. The officer never felt anything wrong about the way he treated me until you pointed it out. So if you would have never pointed it out, there would have never been an attempt of an apology or anything. I'm a regular human being. I try to live on regular life principles. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Like I told the probation officer, I never, not one time, did not take accountability for any of my actions. I was trying to be very clear, direct, and assertive as possible in giving my reason as to why we here today. You know, um, even during the court proceedings, you reprimanded the officer, you know. But the bad part about it is the officer don't get no charge. I get a charge. And like I told him, life is not fair, but I will accept anything, even though.
Yeah, he's already not remembering correctly. She did reprimand the officer, but because it had nothing to do with your threat to him. It had everything to do with how he was treating you. And the officer apologized for that. He said, "You know what? You're right. I should have treated him better." But yet, no, the officer's attitude towards you had nothing to do with your threat. That had nothing to do with the charge.
In my heart, I may not agree with it. I'm still going to accept and comply. That's what I told the probation officer. And by me saying that, that is not being defiant to the courts. It's not being defiant to anybody of authority. You know, I just simply said, hey, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to stay free, even though I don't agree with it. That's exactly what that means. So for my words to be taken out of context, yes, I'm very, I feel very disrespected. I feel like it's a plot against me just to throw me in jail. 30 days in jail ain't going to do nothing. It's what will it benefit to remove me from my family for a phone call? What warrants that? You know, I really would like for you, because the whole meeting was videotaped. I really would like for you to watch it, because if you watch it, you will see that I was assertive as well as respectful. I didn't disrespect nobody. I was very clear about everything that transpired during the situation. Do I feel messed up? Yes, because the officer that I made the statement towards is the same officer that's been arresting me since I was a teenager. So it is my belief, and notice I said it is my belief, that the moment the phone call came in, that officer didn't care about the threatening of the other officer. He's like, I finally got Lawrence Buckner, and I'm going to go push this all the way up. And like I said, that's my belief. You know, I just sat in jail for 30-some days for something that I didn't do. And like, it's the difference between actually committing a crime, getting caught red-handed, versus somebody, you know, constantly going to jail. And, you know, this was all one big thing, because you have been my judge, named there for every case. I have lost my dogs. I've lost my business. I have lost my entire livelihood because of a woman telling a white lie, to where now I got to get transcripts from the courts so I can file a lawsuit, because I got put in jail for being black, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And these officers are the same officers who have been arresting me since I was 15 years old, and then want to get in front of you and act like they don't know who I am, when the officer admitted in the court, yeah, I dealt with Mr. Buckner in the past. Because you dealt with me in the past, that's why as soon as I called, you was instantly, oh, he a liar. I don't care nothing you got to say. And then when I respond out of feelings, out of hurt, out of embarrassment, now I get a charge. Now I want to be put in jail for 30 days. So what does it really warrant? Like, I just lost my whole livelihood. They took all my dogs because of this. Everything.
Mr. Buckner, you're yelling again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm my bad. My bad. I apologize. Like, nobody's taking into account of that. Nobody's saying, hey, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay? I didn't just get on the phone threatening nobody. I tried to be respectful. I tried to follow the chain. of authority to report abuse of authority to his colleague. And what do I get? I get mistreated. I get disrespected. I didn't.
Oh no, my I moved my mic away from my mouth, and when I put it all the way to the top, it mutes itself. All right. I just had a really funny joke that you guys all missed. It was so funny. It was Colin's comment about what's the code for black, and I went right to the hex code. Hashtag 6 zeros. That's the code for black. That was my joke. It was funnier when I said it the first time. Now I feel like I'm explaining my joke, even though it's the first time you heard it. Okay, let's just move on.
Deserve that. And all he gets to do is get a reprimand and go about his life. He don't care about no apology. He don't. He didn't care until you pointed it out. And that's just like if you raising children and you say, go apologize to such and such. If you have to tell that child to do that over and over and over again, that child will never learn to give a genuine apology or be accountable on his own. I was greatly disrespected, me and my family. For what? And jail? And then the prosecutor want to just send me to jail? She don't even know my life. She don't know what I've been through. Everything is just jail, jail, jail. Jail is not always the answer. Jail is not the answer. How is jail the answer? Can't nobody in this courtroom explain why jail is the answer. If I was so much of a threat and anti-government, I'd be blowing up buildings. You see me blowing up buildings? You see me starting stuff? I'm not doing nothing. The same stuff I've been doing when I came home from prison in 2020. You know, and every time I tell the courts on record, on YouTube, every time I tell the courts that I have been maliciously persecuted by Washtenaw County sheriffs for not cooperating when I got shot, nobody believes me. Nobody cares. But all these magical cases come up on me. Places that shootouts happen and I wasn't even there. My GPS proves it, but I'm still in jail. Like, my mental is broke down. I have no more faith in the justice system. I am done. My life is in the last 6 months has went to crap. Okay, over a white lie. And in 2025, you would think that you could drive anywhere around the United States. But no, that ain't the case. That I was instantly stigmatized as a drug dealer, pulling up and then passing out guns. Man, my life is ruined. I worked so hard to build my dog community up. I took my dogs to the old folks home. So many people was affected by this. I took my dogs to schools. I took my dogs to help children. And now I'm so much of a threat to society to where I have to be remanded to Washtenaw County or suggested I be remanded for Washtenaw County with nobody not even doing no type of investigation on my life. Like, I'm actually an asset to my community. I'm not a liability to my community. You put people in jail that's liability, that's not assets, that don't benefit, that don't bring nothing, that don't have no self-worth or not knowledge of their self-worth. People who have self-worth, people who making a constant effort, especially from the degrees of changes that I've made from my past, I'm doing remarkable, you know, and still and yet, like I still, for the life of me, cannot understand as to why I'm sitting in front of you. I swear I don't. You know, I try to sit about it every day. These are the same officers that pull me over every single day, every other week, harass me, and then get into court and act like nobody harassed me. Why would I call the police? I called the police on the police. So that means something had to happen to me. Something is constantly happening to me, constantly pulling me over, constantly sitting in front of my house, just harassing me, constantly coming to my house every day. Come on, come to court. Tell us she shot. We need you to testify. No, no, no. And then as soon as I keep telling them no, I get all these magical cases. Like, why won't they just leave me alone? Nobody will listen to me. Nobody. I've been in jail for over almost 2 months for nothing. I can see if I actually did them crimes. So my whole religion, my spirituality is crushed. I don't know what to believe no more. I was a very religious person, a very spiritual person, but life done beat me down. It done beat me down. And everything I think about is It's what happened to my ancestors. It's relevant to me because I went to jail for being black. So yes, my mindset is different. My mindset is very different. I don't know. I don't trust Europeans because a European just tried to take away my life. A European came to court and lied on me when all these cameras proved I didn't do nothing. And I sat in jail. I was tortured. I was not allowed to practice my religion. None of this. I just missed my aunt's funeral. My aunt just died. She was the only person to ever write me in prison after my mama died. And I couldn't go to my aunt's funeral because of a tether, a GPS tether that Judge Simpson ordered to be taken off. When Judge Simpson ordered to be taken off the tether, they still left me on the tether. I couldn't even go to my aunt's funeral. I couldn't even do that, but nobody's talking about that. I had a court order to take it off, and I couldn't even go pay my respects. This woman, she didn't have much. She sent me money. She made sure I had a letter every week. Every week. Tell me I love you, even though it was just the words. But nobody's looking at that. Just send Mr. Buckner to jail. Send him to jail. Jail ain't the answer.
Thank you, Mr. Buckner. So back to what I asked initially, Mr. Buckner.
You know what? I will say this, and you guys might not agree with me. A lot of his cases have been dismissed. So he has gone through a lot, and a lot of his cases have been dismissed. This is obviously a sentencing for threatening the officer, which is on video. And even we watched it, we listened to the threat, and the officer laughed at it. This whole situation seems just, I don't know. It does. I would be frustrated too if I was in his position. He's not helping himself at all by the way he acted in court. But at the same time, says if I see the officer again, I'm going to mess him up. That's how many people say stuff like that when they're frustrated? Oh, I'm gonna hit that guy in the face the next time I see him. You're not gonna get arrested for it. I understand his frustration. I'm not saying he's right, but I do understand his frustration. Now he's all over YouTube. He's seen the videos of him on YouTube and people laughing at him. I get his frustration. I do. I understand his rant. He was still found guilty of threatening the officer, though. So you got to go through the sentencing, man. Just take it, put it behind you, go live your life.
Ever take a course, because it says in the report on page 2, the defendant was instructed to complete an anger management course before sentencing. The defendant completed this course, but it appeared to have no impact. I don't remember asking him about taking a class. Is all of that incorrect in the report?
Your Honor.
It's incorrect, man. It's incorrect.
All right, Mr. Buckner, thank you.
Please, I need to say this. The officers have been harassing me, and I really want to just make this on note that this is also evidence of what they're doing to me. And I don't know if something's gonna happen to me soon, but I want this on record. I don't trust the police. I think they're trying to kill me. I think that one of the police officers involved in my shooting, nobody will listen to me. And I need some help. I fear for my life. Every day I fear for my life. Nobody will help me. And I want this on video in case something happens to me.
Thank you, Mr. Buckner.
No, I don't believe.
Mr. Pappenhagen.
That's my apologies. I mistaken. That was a mental error on my end.
I'm striking all of that from the report. Anything from anyone else before I proceed with sentencing?
Nothing from the people, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
The defendant is to complete the.
I want to know exactly what she struck from the record. I mean, the probation officer came up and said, "Oh, that was a mental error. That's my mistake." And then she said, "I'm striking all that from the record." And she started crossing things out on the I'm guessing the report in front of her. So not what Mr. Buckner just said. What did she just cross from the record? Strike from the record.
ABR anger management course, and pay fines and court costs in this case for a total of $275. I'm going to see him back here in 90 days on September 23rd, 2025 at 10 o'clock a.m. 180 days in the Washtenaw County Jail, credit for 11 days. The balance is suspended, so he doesn't have to do any additional jail time. If he pays his fines and costs, completes the class, and tells me what he learns from the class.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That was a gift, Mr. Buckner. Judge Washington heard you. She listened to every word you just said. The probation and the prosecution were asking for 30 days in jail. She's holding that over you for you to take a class and then essentially tell her what you learned in the class. Do it. Don't complain about it. Go knock that class out of the park. Come back with the best book report ever. You just got a gift. Don't ruin it.
I want to say I heard every word that Mr. Buckner said. I truly believe that he is concerned for his safety. And bottom line, though, is two wrongs don't make a right, and that's why we're here. So I'll see him back here in September.
And that was the 23rd, Your Honor.
Correct, at 10.
Say thank you. Oh, no, that's Larry. Mr. Buckner's not even on camera anymore. Mr. Buckner! That frustrates me. He just got a gift and he's just like, nope, I'm out. I think they kick him off screen here in a second.
I'm sorry. Yes. The court will call the...
All right, nope. It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Oh my God.
I promised you guys a funny clip. I mean, after watching that, we need a feel-good clip, right? We need a feel-good clip. Now, you all are going to love this, especially the Buffalo fans. Let's see the Buffalo emotes. Oh my gosh, I just said that. That makes me an official YouTuber now. If I'm asking you guys to hit the Buffalo emote. Oh, I'm done. Let's just watch this. I can't believe that. I do not like this. Funny clip. Feel good. We're going to end this night off well. We had to sit through Mr. Buckner. We had to sit through Mr. Lee. Let's watch some Buffalo get embarrassed. Now, hold on. Is that the ringers here? Is Sly here? Is Sly here? I don't know if I've seen Sly. She might be here. I don't know. But the way that this person embarrasses Mr. Allen is the exact embarrassment that he felt when Sly called him Buffalo. When she called him that in person and his face turned red and he covered his face, it's the exact same. And I wish she was here so she could see it because she could vouch for this. Okay, that's cool. She's got family visiting. Well, all right, let's go. This is great. This is an awesome way to end the night, though. Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Judge. Well, I was coming to promote, I'm the AGM of DWC, and I seen that I got an order from the dog back a month ago. I see that you guys might do some cater. And I'd love to cook for you.
Come here. No.
Right for you.
Come right up to the podium.
Yeah.
State your name. No. Right.
Oh.
He'll take you
Just
down.
send me Murdoch.
How are you doing?
I'm wonderful.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you came up here, why?
Well, something put it on my heart. Well, my boss, he was like, I want you to promote, DWC. And I was like, okay. Some said, go to the jail. This was a part of my life for 20 years. And I
I changed my life. 4 years not a drink and 4 years no trouble. So
You kidding me?
yeah,
4 years?
4 years next month.
God,
Not a slip or dip.
God bless you.
Yeah, no. So God has truly been good.
I remember when we first met.
And what? My cocky self. And you got me together.
What?
I was cocky.
You think you were?
No, I know.
How'd that work out with you and me?
You nothing to play with.
What?
You know that. Well, everybody know that.
What did I do?
Nothing. You put me in my place.
I did that?
Well, you know you have to. You have a job to do, right? You have a job to do.
But I have a job to do, and you just thought you knew better than me, right?
No, you do your job better than anybody can do.
Well, thank you for saying that. But you thought you knew better than me.
Well, no, I was cocky because I just recently got sober at that time. And I don't even remember the incident that happened, you know? So I was cocky.
But you're doing well.
Man, so good. My brother passed on Memorial Day. He was 50.
I'm sorry.
But I'm able to be here for his kids in a present mind where nobody else is sober like me. So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jeff.
let her come on. You better be
What's
careful
up?
because he.
Mr. Allen knows you real well. Thank you.
All right.
Allen. I used to flirt with him even though I was gay. Something to look at.
Oh, wow.
Look at him. Look at him. Covering his face. That's what he does when he's embarrassed. Oh, we're going to rewind that. We're going to rewind that so you guys can hear that again. Oh my God. It was so good. It's a feel-good, uplifting story, and she dropped that and she was walking out. Oh man, let's go.
You better be careful because he.
Mr. Allen knows you real well. Thank you.
All right.
The audio is kind of bad because she's walking away, but she says, I used to flirt with you even though I'm gay. That's what she said to Mr. Allen. So priceless. Okay, let's go.
Mr. Allen, I used to flirt with him even though I was gay. Something to look at.
Oh, wow. Man.
All
I know. That was a classic.
You never know when it's gonna happen.
I just hope Felicia was tuned in. You will have to send her a tape of that. All right.
I think Mr. Allen
You know,
was a little embarrassed.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect. That I didn't. I didn't expect that.
Poor Mr. Allen.
I don't feel too bad for him. Objectified all the time. And like
Kirkhouse versus James Raggett.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I knew you guys would like that. And then the public defender, that he gets objectified all the time. Yeah, he does. He does. He's our buff lift, though. We love our buff lift. You know what? I flirt with him. And I'm straight. I don't care. He's a good-looking guy. He's huge. That's a great way to end our night. So we're going to call it a night, guys. We're going to call it a night. I have it set up to raid KFAR. I think I clicked KFAR. Got Shane. Katie's at KFAR streaming. I just did eeny, meeny, mighty, mo and picked KFAR. I don't know which one to pick. So I just picked KFAR. They're all three streaming. They're all three doing the same exact thing. So you can choose any one of those. But that's it for me tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Biggin, thank you again for the raid. Thank you for the super chats and the membership milestones. You guys are awesome. I've got hiccups all of a sudden. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be special in one way or another. Tomorrow I am either, well, you know what? I don't want to spoil it. So tomorrow night's going to be a special stream. I'll just keep it at that. You guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, bye.